Gareth Soloway of InTheMoneyStocks.com has been predicting for a considerable amount of time that the value of Bitcoin will plummet below $20,000, which is exactly what has happened in recent times. In an interview with the Investing News Network, he described how the double peak in the Bitcoin chart in the Great Market Chatter assisted him in accurately predicting the price fall a long time before it really took place. And now he's back with a new assertion, this time claiming that it's too late to react to BTC. Experts say Bitcoin will go under $10,000, and here's why we think so. But do you think it's too late to buy Bitcoin? Hello and welcome back to Crypto Cash Channel. Is Bitcoin in your portfolio? And what do you think of its current price drop? In today's video, we look at Gareth Soloway's prediction about Bitcoin and why it actually makes sense. But first, before we go on, a sub to the channel would be very appreciated. Comment, share the video, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up for the video. So, let's get into it. Gareth Soloway, president of InTheMoneyStocks, is of the opinion that the cryptocurrency market has not yet found its bottom, and he anticipates that the price of Bitcoin will go below $10,000 at some point. But despite this, he has a positive outlook in the long term, disclosing that he purchased Bitcoin when the price was $19,000 and promises to keep the cryptocurrency. Gareth Soloway was one of the very few industry experts who forecasted a bleak future for Bitcoin in August of the previous year. The American who was speaking at the time asserted that Bitcoin should reach the mark of $50,000 according to the charts before it eventually fell to the level of $18,000. And his forecast, which was not well received by the majority of people, came true a month ago when the price of Bitcoin dropped below the $18,000 threshold. In a recent interview with Kitco News, Soloway predicted that the bulls will increase the price of the cryptocurrency to $25,000 to $30,000 during the next 3 to 6 weeks, which is a significant gain in light of recent adverse occurrences. He forecasts that the price of Bitcoin would drop to as low as $12,000 and even $10,000. And if his forecast comes true, the value of one Bitcoin would drop to a level lower than it has been in over 2 years. Despite this, investors who hold their positions for a longer period of time should not be concerned about the recent negative trend. This will, in the words of Soloway, flush out all of the weak nonsense, which will result in the market improving. But is it only Gareth Soloway who thinks that the price of Bitcoin is going to plummet to below $10,000? Well, it's not just Gareth Soloway who has this assumption. Following the most recent drop in the price of Bitcoin, the veteran investor in emerging markets Mark Mobius has warned investors not to buy the dip, and has predicted that a meltdown in the cryptocurrency market could drive its price as low as $10,000 in the coming months. Mobius made this prediction after predicting that a meltdown in the cryptocurrency market could drive the price of Bitcoin as low as $10,000. Bitcoin has suffered significant losses over the course of the past week, with its price dropping by as much as 23% between May 9th and May 12th in the midst of a sell-off that has wiped billions of dollars off the market for cryptocurrencies. Although the price of Bitcoin has leveled out and is resting at $19,300 at the moment, it is still down 31% from where it was at the beginning of May and more than 65% from where it achieved its all-time high of $68,991 in November 2021. According to Mobius, although the so-called buy the dip strategy, in which investors purchase a particular asset class at a lower price in the expectation that the price will rise again, has produced profitable results in the past, this tactic is not one that will produce results while the market is still falling because it is not an investment strategy. According to Mobius, it won't work this time, until Bitcoin reaches $10,000. The rapid decline in cryptocurrency prices, as reported by CoinMarketCap, has brought the overall market value of all cryptocurrencies throughout the world down to $900 billion, down from around $2.9 trillion in November. But why is the price of Bitcoin still going down? An analysis authored by Barry Bannister of Stifel suggests that the price of Bitcoin might drop by as much as 76% from its all-time high in 2023 to about $10,000. This is due to the fact that the price of cryptocurrency is affected by 3 macro headwinds at the same time. When discussing the price of Bitcoin, Bannister stressed the significance of the global money supply, the yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury note, and the equity risk premium of the S&P 500 index. Bannister believes that the Federal Reserve's plans to increase interest rates and reduce the size of its balance sheet might have a negative impact on the price of Bitcoin. A tightening cycle of 2 years by the Federal Reserve would place Bitcoin in a trading range bounded by year-to-date intraday values in 2022. And if the Fed continues to normalize policies, there is a greater risk of a decrease in 2023. However, when attempting to forecast the future of Bitcoin's price, it is important to remember that the price is not the only factor that is influenced by macroeconomic factors. So, which are these factors? The first factor is how the total amount of money in circulation across the world influences Bitcoin. When measured in dollars, both the S&P 500 and Bitcoin experience movement. However, Bitcoin experiences a larger movement. Therefore, if the dollar strengthens, the growth of M2 throughout the world would slow down, which might potentially tighten financial conditions in the United States. And when banking conditions in the US become more stringent, a highly volatile speculative asset like Bitcoin would almost certainly see a significant decrease in value. The second factor is Bitcoin as a function of the gold price, the real 10-year yield, and oil price. If the 10-year TIPS U.S. Treasury yield goes higher as a result of the Fed tightening monetary policy, then Bitcoin's potential for price appreciation will be blocked, and vice versa if the increased 10-year TIPS yield causes gold prices to go down. So, if the price of gold stays around the bottom of its range, the value of one Bitcoin might drop below $10,000 by the year 2023. Thirdly, the value of Bitcoin is contingent on how far the Federal Reserve can push interest rates before the market begins to collapse. We estimate that the 10-year real yield will increase by no more than 80 basis points during the first year of a 2-year Fed tightening cycle. However, the S&P 500 will fall in value in 2023 as the Fed continues its policy of raising interest rates. And because Bitcoin favors a lower stock risk premium, it is important to monitor whether or not the Federal Reserve's withdrawal would result in an increase in that premium, which would be negative for Bitcoin. A decrease to the predicted aim of $10,000 would represent a total decline of up to 86% for the cryptocurrency with the greatest market capitalization in the world. And Bitcoin's price has already declined by more than 65% from its all-time high in November. Given that Bitcoin is a highly speculative and very volatile commodity, a decrease of this scale would not be unexpected given that it has fallen by 83% from its last high of around $20,000 in 2018. As a result of the collapse, the overall market value of Bitcoin dropped from $402 billion to $363 billion in only one day, a decrease of almost $40 billion in market cap. So, the question now is, precisely where will the Bitcoin market bottom out? The current level of pessimism in the market may be attributed to the fact that the Fear and Greed Index has dropped to 6, which is the lowest conceivable rating. So, a specialist in cryptocurrency trading working for Rect Capital has a theory that Bitcoin's price might drop below $15,000. As evidence, they point to the fact that Bitcoin's price has historically dropped between -14% and 28% below the 200 moving average. Bitcoin is reportedly selling at a discount of 15% to its 200-day moving average at the moment, as stated by a well-known trader. However, if the price of Bitcoin were to collapse to a depth below the 200-day moving average as it did in March 2020, the cryptocurrency's value would be in jeopardy. In other terms, the predicted $10,000 price level would be very much possible. And that's all for today's video. Do you think that it's too late to react to BTC? And do you think that Bitcoin will hit below $10,000? Also, if you are interested in more videos like this, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos. See you in the next video.